Hello and welcome to week 13 of your pregnancy and the second trimester. You may have had your first scan by now. However, if you haven't, please wait until your scan before starting the program of pregnancy yoga classes. You have just been through the first trimester, which is arguably one of the toughest parts of your pregnancy. You may have been feeling tired, sick, you may have experienced insomnia and mood swings. The first trimester can also be a really anxious time as we tend to not tell anyone about our pregnancies. So we end up squirreling away this big secret, and that can be really, really hard. I know I found it really difficult to not tell anybody about my pregnancy. Being revived is all about finding strength, feeling alive, and finding yourself, and that is what we're going to do in our first class today. If you've had your first scan, then you'll know that the placenta has now taken over and is doing most of the work. And I really hope that you're starting to feel more like yourself again. Don't forget that if any of the poses or exercises don't feel right, then just hit stop or pause and you can come back to them at any point. For this class, you will need a bolster, a block, and a belt. Or if you're at home, you can use a few cushions, some thick books, and a scarf. If you're suffering from pelvic girdle pain, then remember not to stand on one leg and don't take the legs too wide because that can make it worse. I will cue you when it comes to poses that might not feel great. If you have sore wrists from carpal tunnel syndrome, then remember for any poses that involve putting weight on your wrist, you can just put your hand into fists and that will take some of the pressure off. So, without further ado, let's jump in with our first pregnancy yoga class at the beginning of your second trimester. Okay, so we're going to start by coming to sit on our bolster in hero pose. So if you don't have a bolster at home, then just grab some cushions. What we're trying to aim for in this is to have your knees below your hips. So hero pose is just your feet tucked behind you with tops of the feet on the mat. We're going to take our hands into Yoni Mudra, so bring your thumbs together and then your little fingers together and just tuck your fingers in. Take Yoni Mudra. And then we're going to just close down the eyes and start to concentrate on our breathing. So breathing in through the nose and then the long exhale through your mouth. Continuing that breath throughout the class, but really focusing on this time to center yourself. And leave anything behind that you don't need to be doing right now. Just focus on being on the mat, giving this time to yourself to focus on you and your baby. So as we come into the second trimester, it can feel like quite a time for revival. Our first trimester can be such a roller coaster of just moods and sickness and headaches and all sorts of things that are, if it's your first pregnancy, could be new to you and completely thrown you. So if you're in week 13, you may be starting to feel better. If you're not and you're still suffering from some sickness, then just take it easy. You can always take a block or a book and put it under your head for any poses that take your head below your heart. Continuing to breathe, slowing down your heart rate. And as we're in this position, just start to notice how you feel. How does your body feel? You feel any tension anywhere? If you can, just every time you exhale, send your breath there to soften the muscles. Just imagine that you are sending energy and revival to those muscles that need some love and attention. And then on next exhale, we're going to do some 3 humming bee breaths. So take an inhale through your nose. And as you exhale, we're going to just hum very quietly. Inhale. Final inhale. And just find your steady breath again, inhaling through your nose and out through your mouth. Just focusing on that exhale being longer than the inhale. So we really start to center ourselves and bring ourselves into this session. And when you're ready, just start to blink the eyes open. Release your hands and bring them to your knees as we take our first twist. So we're going to tip our left hand and our left knee, and we're just going to place the right hand behind us. You might want to come up onto your fingertips, and then we're just going to start to peel the right shoulder back, taking a very, very gentle open twist. You might want to look over your right shoulder, or just look straight ahead. But the purpose of this is to open up your shoulders, remembering to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth. Start to wake up our shoulders. And coming back to center, to the other side. So left hand behind you, coming up onto the fingertips. Inhale. As you exhale, just rotating round to the left, opening up that left hand shoulder. Reviving those muscles that we don't use very often, starting to wake them up and say, hey, we're here. Breathing in, and any tension you feel, send your exhale breath there to soften the muscle, feed the muscle with lovely oxygen. And coming back to center. Okay, we're going to take our belt. So if you don't have a yoga belt, don't worry, just use a scarf or an actual belt. The purpose of this is just something to hold on to. So we're going to take our belt, and we're going to just wrap it around our hands once. And we want to make sure we've got enough space. Oh, what am I doing here? We've got enough space so we can take our hands just a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Bring your hands down to your knees. Take an inhale and lift your arms up above the head. And then slowly exhale through the mouth, bringing the hands all the way back down to the knees, exhaling every bit of breath. Inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, bringing your hands all the way down. Long, slow, withdrawn breath down to the knees. And again, big short inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, bringing the hands all the way down. Exhaling all that breath. Last bit, last bit, last bit. And last one. Inhale, reach the arms up, stretch. And exhale, bringing the hands all the way down. We're just going to take a nice little side bend here to warm up the sides of the body. If, by the way, it's becoming uncomfortable to sit in hero pose, then do just come off your cushion or your bolster and sit cross-legged, or you can just sit on your cushion instead. So inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, just take a nice lean over to the side of the room, whichever feels best for you, it doesn't matter. Arms are nice and strong, gripping onto your belt, breathing in As you exhale, just send your breath to the ribs on the extended side, splay them out. And inhale back to center. Exhale to the other side. Breathing in, exhaling, sending your breath out to the ribs, helping your chest to expand. And back to center. Bring your hands back down to your knees. Get rid of your belt. And we're going to take a nice shoulder stretch. So inhale, reach your arms all the way up. And then follow me on this one. Listen, exhale, I'm going to drop the right arm down. And then we're going to take the left arm over. So we're in a crisscross. And then we're going to wrap the right hand round the left wrist into eagle arms. When you're in this position, you can tuck your fingers down into a fist, or you can keep your fingers splayed up, whatever feels best to you. But what you want you to concentrate on is the feeling in your left hand shoulder. You should be feeling a really deep stretch. So keep inhaling, exhaling. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, drop your left arm, this time below the right. And then we're going to take our left hand and wrap it around our right wrist. You can keep the fingers up, twinkly fingers, or you can drop them down. But again, we're focusing on the feeling in our right hand shoulder. So inhaling and exhaling. I'm going to drop the shoulders down. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. And exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release the hands, release the arms. I'm just going to shake out the arms. Nice blood flowing in my shoulders now, which feels good. And coming off the bolster now. So put your bolster or your cushions to one side. I'll pop mine over here. So just take a nice stretch in the legs. So pelvic girdle pain, if you have pelvic girdle pain, then keep your leg forward, not to the side, and just make sure that you've got, you're not going too wide with the legs, because that can make things worse. We're going to take our bend in the right leg and take our right foot towards our inner left thigh. Flex the left foot. And then we're just going to take a nice passive stretch. So take an inhale. As you exhale, start to move your left hand down the left leg. And pause when you can't get any further. Inhale. Exhale, just go a little bit further. Inhale. Exhale, go a little bit further. And inhale. Exhale. As far as you can go, and pause here. Continue to breathe. Inhaling, exhaling. Now what happens to the muscles here is that they have their capacity that they can move to, but what we need to do is build up trust in the muscles, and bear with me on this. What they do is the more that you show them that it's okay to stretch, the more they release. So when I'm stretching like this and breathing, I'm just teaching my muscles in the backs of my legs and my thighs and my shins that it's okay to stretch, and that is what promotes flexibility. So keep doing this if you want to become more flexible, but it doesn't matter if you can't touch your toes. It doesn't matter if you can only get to your knees. Whatever feels best for you, and you will get there. But if you don't worry about it. Everyone's different. Okay. Release the left hand from the left foot or shin or thigh, wherever you've got to. We're going to take the right hand to the mat, and then we're going to pivot up onto the right knee, taking the bottom of the left foot onto the floor. And we're going to extend the left arm up and over. So we take a nice stretch, wild thing, feeling a stretch in the hips. And coming all the way back down. Okay, other side. So again, pelvic girdle pain, peeps, just keep your leg in front. Don't take the leg too wide. Everyone else, extend your right leg, flex the right toes, and then your left knee is bent. Take an inhale. As you exhale, just start to move down the right leg and pause when you can't get any further. Big inhale. Exhale, go that little bit further. Inhale. Exhale, and go to your limit. My limit is my toes. So I'm not a very flexible person, even though I'm a yoga teacher. So keep breathing and remembering that every time you exhale, you're giving your body the cue that it's okay to stretch that little bit further. And as I said, you might find that you can only go so far. And it might shock you. You cannot go very far, you can go really far. But wherever it is, just know it's right for you, and that you might even have more flexibility on one side. I know this side for me is much more flexible than this side. So just show yourself some love. Enjoy this revival of moving again. And release the toes on the right hand side. Plant the left hand onto the mat. Pivot onto the left knee. Reach the right arm up and over. Nice stretch into Wild Thing. And then coming all the way back down to a seated position. Okay, swiveling around to our mat, whichever position you're in, but we want the facing the short edge of the mat. Plant your feet onto the mat, nice and grounded. And then we're going to plant the palms just behind your hips. Take an inhale. As you exhale, lift your hips up, coming into reverse tabletop. Tuck the chin. And in every exhale, just push your hips up that little bit further. It might feel quite nice to rock back and forth here. Grounding down through the feet for stability. And release, coming all the way back down. Take a cross in the legs, and then we're going to rock forward onto all fours. We take our first cat-cow, which is a favorite in pregnancy yoga. So take an inhale. As you exhale, we're going to round the spine and tuck the chin. Inhale, drop the belly and lift the chest. Don't go too far with dropping the belly though. Inhale, round the spine and tuck the chin. Exhale, drop the belly and lift the chest. Inhale, round the spine and tuck the chin. And exhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, looking up. And continue just doing this at a pace that suits you. And you might want to add some more movement into it. So you might want to, as you drop your belly, go all the way around. Or you might want to experiment with kind of going over your wrists, integrating the shoulders and the hips into the movement, finding some flow. And if you're going one way with doing this, then just switch to go the other way. So we keep it nice and even. Okay. And coming back to center. So keeping your knees hip width apart. You might want to take a couple of steps back. We're going to just start to walk our hands forward, taking them as wide as the mat, as we drop our heads and chest down into puppy pose. Now, if you have nausea or heartburn, use a block under your head. I'm going to do it with you, which will help you just keep your head slightly elevated. So take your forehead to rest it on the block, but essentially we're dropping the chest down, lowering the heart rate, taking deep breaths into our belly, sending lots of love to our babies who are in there growing and doing their thing. Breathing deeply. Keeping the fingers splayed, energy in the fingertips. This isn't a passive pose, it's energetic. Remembering your breath. Really tuning into how you feel here. It's quite a strange pose to do. It looks quite easy, but actually it brings out all sorts of things. It can be quite emotional sometimes to take your head lower than your heart. It kind of can do all sorts of things to us emotionally as well. So just tuning into how you feel, anywhere you feel any tension, anywhere that feels tight. And then starting to walk the hands back up the mat towards your knees. You can keep your block here if you want, that might help because we're going to use it, we're going to go down again. We're just going to take a nice child's pose. So take your toes together, knees as wide as the mat, and then we're just going to drop the hips back to the heels. Bring your block in. If you want to use a block for nausea or heartburn, then do. I'm going to do it with you again. And then we're just going to walk the hands forward, relaxing the arms down. This one is a restorative and nice passive pose. So just relaxing your forehead onto the mat, arms nice and relaxed, feeling that nice deep stretch in the hips. If you have pelvic girdle pain, just bring the hips slightly closer together, but do make space for your bump. Just a little gap at this stage at 13 weeks will be fine. Breathing deeply, enjoying this moment of stillness. Then on the next exhale, just let out a sigh. Do it with me. So, I always find it feels quite nice to just do that and release some extra energy. So what we're doing with all this movement is we're waking up parts of the body we might not have moved for 3 months if you've done no exercise, which lots of people don't. They just don't feel ready to. So we're just sending blood flow around the body, and that is waking up our bones and muscles again, coming back into finding ourselves. Okay, start to walk the hands up. We're going to remove the block and put it back to one side. Bring the knees together, and then we're going to tuck the toes and lift the knees, drop the heels down, and feet should be hip width apart. Drop the heels to the floor and then use your legs for support as you walk up to standing. So as we've had our head below our heart, just take a moment to find stillness, because it can be a little bit dizzying to stand up. So center yourself, find your breath. Okay, so we're going to go into eagle, but if you have pelvic girdle pain, what you're going to do instead is chair pose. So when we're in the pose, take chair pose, because it can be quite a challenging one to hold. So in terms of chair pose, your feet are hip width apart. You're going to dip the hips back and just lift the arms up as far as you can go. And that is your alternative pose. For everybody else, we're going to take the weight into the left hand foot. And then we're going to start to peel the right foot off the floor. And then we're going to take the right leg and just wrap it round tight. Nice hug round the left leg. And reach your arms to the side. And then we're going to swing the right arm under left, like we did at the very beginning of this class, to take eagle arms. Once you've found this position, you can start to sink your hips down. If you need to hold on to something, then do. Some days I can't balance at all. I seem to be having an okay day today. It's okay if it's difficult to balance. And coming back up. So release the legs, coming back to 2 feet. And just shake it out. And again, anyone who's been doing chair pose, then do give yourself some revival. It's a difficult one, chair pose. Okay, taking your weight into your left hand, your right leg, to find stability in your right. And then we're going to wrap the left leg around the right. Take your hands to the sides, and then we're going to wrap the left arm underneath right, finding our eagle arms, finding stillness. If you need to focus on one spot to keep balance, then do. Just do whatever feels good. And chair pose, people, if you need to come out early, then do. It's a tough one. And release. Oh, nice. Okay, taking the legs nice and wide. Again, pelvic girdle pain Keep your legs closer together. You don't need to keep them like this, but you could just go that far. But we're going to take the left feet are going to be facing the short edge of the mat, and then take your right foot back nice and wide as we find our first warrior two. So draw your sword, bring your arms out nice and wide, feeling that deep stretch in the hips, and hold. Breathing deeply. And then we're going to inhale, and as you exhale, extend the front leg, lift the arms up, and then bring it back down into warrior two. And again, inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring it back down. And inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring it back down. One last one. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, bringing your arms back down. Take your hands to your hips. Extend the front leg. Take both feet to face the long edge of the mat. And we're going to take the right leg, now the right foot, facing the short edge of the mat, or the left leg facing the long edge of the mat. Take your legs as wide as you want to. Take a bend in the right knee, and then bring your arms out nice and wide as we find our second warrior two, other side. And again, if this is painful on your hips, then just shorten your stance. There's no right or wrong, it's just whatever feels right to you. And then take an inhale. Exhale, extend the front leg, lift the arms. Inhale, coming back down. Exhale, extend the arms. Inhale, coming back down. And again, extending up, reaching up. Exhale, coming back down. And reaching up as you inhale. Exhale, coming back down. Last one. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, coming back down. Take your hands to your hips, both feet long edge of the mat, and then just start to pigeon toe your feet together. They're not going to come flush together. In pregnancy yoga, we always take our feet hip width apart. So revival, we're going to get lots of oxygen into our body with the next. It's not really a pose, it's more of a movement. Okay, I'm going to go to the side so you can see what I'm doing. So take an inhale, reach your arms up and forward in front of you, and then start to peel the heels off the floor, coming onto your tippy toes. Take a big inhale here, and then exhale, let it all go. Inhale, reaching your arms up, lifting the heels, and exhale, let it all go. Inhale, reach your arms up in front of you, splay the fingers, lots of energy, lift the heels, and exhale, let it go. And inhale, last one, reaching the heels up as far as you can go. Hold here for a second. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release, let it all go. So from here, walking down your legs, giving yourself nice lots of support, bring your palms onto the mat, coming into a tabletop position. Now let's just find some movement in your tabletop. So moving side to side, moving over the wrists. And if you have carpal tunnel syndrome, just take your hands into fists, because it does release the pressure. But moving side to side, finding some movement in your tabletop. Now we're going to move into a variation of cat-cow, which is quite dynamic. So just watch me first for the first one. So inhale, drop your belly and lift your chest. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin, sitting back on your heels. Carve a line along the mat with your nose, bringing your chest low. And then we're going to go round again. And exhale as you round your spine. Inhale as you carve a line with your nose along the mat. Try it together. So, inhale, drop your belly and lift your chest. Exhale, round your spine, drop your hips back. Inhale, carve a line along the mat, bringing your chest through. Exhale, round your spine, bringing your hips back down to your heels. Inhale, coming along the mat. We're just going to carry on this movement as fast or as slow as you like. It's called swooping cat. It's a really nice one for finding some dynamic energy and, as I said before, finding that movement and that revival in your body. You might feel or hear parts of your body snap, crackling and popping like I am, but it's good. It's a sign it's waking up. And like your last one, coming back into a box position. Bringing your knees together. I'm going to come off the wrists now. I'm going to come into a seated position. And we're going to take soles of our feet together. Take the hips wide. If you have pelvic girdle pain, I would just suggest doing this. And you might want to take your toes and take a nice stretch like this instead. But otherwise, we're going to take butterfly. So soles of the feet together, knees nice and wide. Rest your elbows on the inside of your, not your knees, but kind of the crease of your knees. And then cup your hands underneath your feet, almost like we're opening our feet to read a book. And then inhale, just start to put pressure on your knees to open the hips. Don't go too far with this though. You've got relaxin in your system from the moment you become pregnant, and the reason you have relaxin is to open your pelvis during labour, but it means you can stretch too far. And your pelvis is a support structure, so we don't want to push it too far because in terms of your body it supports everything else, so we want it to be nice and stable. So just go as far as you can, but not too far. Drop the head down. Just find stillness in your breath. And release. Release the hands. Give your knees some support to come back up together. And we're just going to take a moment in seated pose. Closing down the eyes. Taking your thumb and forefinger together so you find some stillness. Well done, you did it, your first pregnancy yoga class. I hope it was okay. These classes are designed to be really gentle and accessible to everybody. So I hope it was good for you. Just taking this time to notice how you feel now you've done your first pregnancy yoga class. Do you feel like you've got more energy? Do you feel tired? Whatever it is, just listen to how you feel. There's no right or wrong. And just notice for the rest of the day how you feel and look after yourself. You're doing a lot. Now let's really start to focus on our breath. So breathing in, expanding the belly. Exhaling, getting rid of all the air. Finding new revived air for our lungs, for our babies. And just finding stillness. It's not often we take a few moments to ourselves just to be still. So take this time, you deserve it.